Now that you've all been put on notice, I'm going to try that one more time. Good evening, Phoenix! Hello and welcome to the Hall of Dames. I'd love to welcome you to the Hall of Dames, Arizona's only bank track roller derby venue, brought to you by the Arizona Derby Dames. I am Clofton P. Grudge.
I'm Kills Bill. Tonight's doubleheader is going to feature our adult skaters. It's my favorite bout coming up first. The Coffin Draggers are going to take the track against the Schoolyard Scrappers for some fast-paced, hard-hitting, competitive roller derby action. Before we begin, though, we got some ground rules. Please, no whistling as it interrupts the game. Please keep in mind that when in line for the bathroom, our skaters take priority. They've got to get back out on the track. But last but not least, for the safety of our skaters and yourself, please keep your body parts on the outside of the track and behind the yellow line. Nobody wants a skate to the jaw, do they?
As you can see there at midfield, those fine people wearing stripes are going through and checking the teams for safety, checking all the buckles and pads and whatnot, and making sure everybody's 100% ready to go. Those people in stripes are the regulators, and we'd love to take a second to welcome them to you this evening, skating for the regulators, or not skating for the regulators, as it were. In your first bout tonight, head referee Ziggy Stardust.
Our penalty tracker is Lollipop.
Game executioner Freya Hugs.
Our penalty tracker assist is the Morgue.
Pack ref Infidel Castro.
Our penalty box tracker, Rosie the Ripper.
Pack ref Transylvania.
Penalty box visitor, SPRG.
Jam ref Dolly de los Muertos.
Our eye in the sky, Brother Bones.
Scoreboard Retromancer.
Our jam referee, Meryl Streak.
The runner is Danny Sage.
And the eye in the sky, Hoover Slam.
Your head referee for the second bout will be Lollipop. Show some love for your regulators. It could be the only love they get all night long. All right, Derby fans, we'd love to let you know we recently hosted tryouts not that long ago, and we've welcomed a new group of skaters to our rookie team. We'd love to shout out our rookies working tonight. Thank you so much. We'd love to show you a video from our most recent tryout session. Please direct your attention to the video screen.
I thought it was a really good turnout. The amount of skaters we were able to obtain was really good. People looked really eager. What we're looking for when it comes to somebody trying out for the Arizona Derby Dames is, do they have a good attitude? Do they show initiative? Do they try the things that we are instructing them to do?
Yeah, everybody was really helpful. There's a lot of guidance and education from the seasoned skaters. They were trying to make it to where everybody was involved and everybody could do something and nobody was left out, which I really liked.
Being a part of the Arizona Derby Dames is life-changing.
It's a community of amazing, amazing women and men and kids and families that are there for you.
So you get this sense of friendship, the sense of belonging, and the sense of accepting anybody and everybody that comes here. We want it to be a safe space.
So much more than just skating, and even when it's skating and you're struggling with something, there's always somebody there to lend a hand.
Roller derby will give you back everything you give to it tenfold. The more invested you become in the community that surrounds this league, the more invested you become in the women and the families they belong to, the more you realize that you are a part of something bigger and you have an opportunity to really make change. It might feel local, it might feel small, but one person can make a difference within a league, can make a difference within their team, and then you yourself will experience changes that you weren't expecting. I wasn't expecting in 2011. Like, it's changed my life.
All right, Derby fans, it is time to introduce you to your skaters for the first bout this evening. You are here for the Coffin Draggers versus the Schoolyard Scrappers, and it is my pleasure to introduce to you the Coffin Draggers. Skating tonight for the prettiest ghouls in the morgue, number 1029, Reckless Rose. Number 1312, Ricky D. Bones. Number 2011, Colette Razorcat. Number 2187, Princess Sleia. Number 2323, Quiver Phoenix. Number 4, Cherry Kiss. Number 59, Raul Juke. Number 666, Witchy Woman. Number 8020, All Beef Batty. Number 925, Evil Twin. Number 96, All of You Die. Number 1951, your co-captain, Hellatrix Lestrange. And your captain of the Coffin Draggers, number 616, Antifa. Bench coaches tonight for the Coffin Draggers are Garantula and Bender B. Rodriguez.
All right, Derby fans, taking the track now, it's your Schoolyard Scrappers. Skating tonight for the Scrappers, number 007, Clutch Cannon. OMG, you're killing me, Smalls. Number 1212, Bonnie Banshee. 1982, Sandra Slay O'Connor. Number 300, it's Dolly Spartan. Number 34, Pretty Hurt Machine. 440, it's Morning Madness. 669, Nikki Badass. Number 68, Juicy Kiltour. 73, Shirley Temple of Doom. 90210, Beverly Kills. Your co-captain tonight, number 172, Pikachu. And the captain of the Schoolyard Scrappers, 1235, Bob Villain. You know, it's not on there at all. It's all volunteer army. Helping the Scrappers on their bench tonight, we got Thrill Sergeant and Call Me Maybe.
Let's hear it if you're here for the Coffin Draggers. Let's hear it if you were going to the fair and got lost trying to find the funnel cakes. All right, one person, good. Welcome to Derby. This is on roller skates. We'll explain it as we go. Yeah, I did. That's all I need.
Yeah, isn't it? I don't remember. You had it right last time. It doesn't say.
I think it's 17.
I think it's 17.
I'm confident. All right, Derby fans. Arizona Derby Dames Season 17 action set to continue. Your final 4 home teams all having their first game of the season this evening. We kicked things off a couple of weeks ago here at the Hall of Dames. Just about ready to go, waiting on that nice crisp whistle from head referee Ziggy Stardust. Your first jammer for the Coffin Draggers is Heletix Lestrange.
That's Dolly Spartan out there for the Schoolyard Scrappers.
All right.
Oh, Dolly Spartan sees an opening on the low and gets out as your lead jammer.
Strange at the back of the pack, now up in the middle, trying to find a way around the outside. Outrunning the last Schoolyard Scrappers blockers to the point and getting out as well.
Strange gets out, but Dolly Spartan working her way through the pack, trying to get some points right now. Getting held up by your Antifa, calls off the jam. Just as she gets knocked off the track by Quiver Phoenix. Here comes Juicy Kiltour to the jammer line for the Scrappers.
Your jammer for the Coffin Draggers is Olive You Die.
Both teams skating down one blocker.
Olive You Die. Patiently looking for an opening in the pack, now runs into a couple of blockers for the Schoolyard Scrappers. Not a lot of success either way.
Olive getting held up behind Bob Villain and Bon Bon.
There goes Juicy now trying to duck to the inside, and Juicy right at the opening to the front straightaway ducks through. Looks like we had an inadvertent whistle that led to the end of that jam. That does happen once in a while, unfortunately. So no points for either side. We'll go ahead and set up for jam number 3. On the jammer line for the Schoolyard Scrappers, once again, is Heletix Lestrange.
That's Nikki Badass out there for the Scrappers. Strange going low, Nikki trying the high side. Strange finds some daylight though, gets out as your lead jammer.
Strange now making their way down through the far turn and down the front straightaway. Nikki still looking for an opening for the Scrappers, runs into a couple of Coffin Draggers blockers while Strange at the back of the pack trying to find her way through as well. Nikki takes a tumble, Strange fighting, trying to find their way through, and Nikki finally ducks around a blocker as they were called out of play and gets out of the pack. So now Strange unable to penetrate the defensive wall of the Schoolyard Scrappers, and Strange calls it off. Strange gets 2 points there, managed to get in front of a couple of skaters. So what we initially believed would be a close bout has started off just that way. Up to the jammer line for this Coffin Draggers is Ricky D. Bones. Your jammer for the Schoolyard Scrappers is Bonnie Banshee. Bonnie off to the infield, now looking for an opening. There's a solid wall of Coffin Draggers blockers in front of her. Bones dumped on the infield by the Schoolyard Scrappers defense. Now the pack gets to moving. Bones trying to find her way around, and with the help of her pivot, Bones gets clear for the Coffin Draggers.
Bon Bon still stuck in traffic at the back of the pack, trying to beat the front of the line. Olive tries to knock her out, but gets out.
Now the pack picks up some speed, a couple of skaters down. Bones takes advantage of the staggered pack to get most of the way through and calls it off. We'll check and see if she picked up that last point. And it's all 4 points for the Coffin Draggers and Bones on that last jam, and the Coffin Draggers jump in front. We are now onto a power jam for the Coffin Draggers, as we've had a penalty called on the Schoolyard Scrappers in the previous jam. The Schoolyard Scrappers jammer, that is. So
Looks
up to the jammer line for the Coffin Draggers is Prince. Is that Slaya? That looks like Slaya. Well, there she goes to the front of the pack, and she's out and clear. That is not Slaya. I can't. Somebody's yelling it out to me, but I can't hear it over here. I'm sorry. The jammer for the Draggers. Takes off along the inside. It is Slaya. My eyes deceive me. I convinced myself it wasn't Slaya. Slaya now coming around down the front straightaway, trying to catch the pack as the Coffin Draggers offense springs into action. 20 seconds left in the power jam. Here comes Princess Slaya down through the far turn. Catches up to the front, dashes by the Schoolyard Scrappers. Managed to catch them all looking the other way and ran by on the infield without being touched. 7 seconds left in the power jam, and here comes Slaya for one more scoring pass. Tries to get through, but ends up running into a blocker and gets dumped, but an excellent offensive effort by Princess Slaya and the Coffin Draggers. 14 points on the power jam for Princess Slaya. My peas are jumping out. Up to the jammer line for the Coffin Draggers is Cherry Kiss.
That's a pretty hurt machine out there for the Scrappers. Hurt working right through the middle of the pack, able to blast their way out through brute force. Hurt's your lead jammer right now. Cherry Kiss jumping around the track, getting over skaters. Gets knocked to the infield, but able to still get out. Hurt's got some speed, though. And Hurt wisely calls it off as Cherry skates away.
You can see Hurt coming through the far turn and kind of gauging the distance and saying, no, I can't catch her, in fact. Calling off the jam, Hurt putting 4 points on the board for the Schoolyard Scrappers. And up to the jammer line now for the Coffin Draggers, once again, is Hellatrix Lestrange.
That's Pikachu out there, ready to skate for the Scrappers. Strange finds some room on the low side, gets tied up behind Kills and Peak. Scrapper's able to semi-wall up at the front of the pack there. Peak finds some daylight, gets by her Antifa, and is your lead jammer right now. Strange tied up high here up on the rail by Nikki Badass. Ends up getting out, though.
Peak now catching up to a fast-moving pack as the pack moves to the turn end of the back straightaway. Peak trying to get up to the Coffin Draggers and get a couple of points scored. Gets pinned to the rail and calls off the jam. One point for Peak there on the jam.
Olive and Rose dueling with Juicy to find some room here on the blockers line. I see Bon Bon out there for the Scrappers.
And your jammer for the Coffin Draggers is Evil Twin.
Evil Twin takes the high side, Bon Bon takes the low side. One of them will be in Luck Loman. Bon Bon gets knocked to the infield by Reckless Rose, gets back out on the track and is able to emerge as your lead jammer. Fast pack coming through turn 4 right now. Cherry and Evil Twin take a knee on the infield as Bon Bon cuts their way through the pack. Bon Bon laps the other jammer. Still your lead jammer out there for the Scrappers. Scrappers' chance to make up a couple extra points.
Evil Twin able to get out of the pack, trying to put the pressure on now and keep this to one last scoring pass for Bonnie Banshee. And Bon Bon knocked to the track and calls it off from her back. Thank you very much, Freya Hugs. We were able to clearly hear timeout blue. Schoolyard Scrappers calling a team timeout to take a moment and talk this one over, so we're waiting for the score to come up from the previous jam. Schoolyard Scrappers putting 7 points on the board, cutting the score to 20-16 as we step into this team timeout with 6:27 to go in the first quarter.
Hey, Derby fans, be sure to visit the Arizona Derby Dames snack bar. Grab a cold beverage or snack. You might see the cart coming around as well. All proceeds go back to the league, and your support is greatly appreciated. It's the Arizona Derby Dames snack bar.
Lost Dutchman Tattoo is a tattoo shop specializing in various styles from realism to traditional. You can also customize your own tattoo. If you'd like to see their work in action, see me. I'll roll up my shirt sleeve. Walk-ins are accepted. Their shop is located at 4121 North 19th Avenue. That's the east side of 19th Avenue, just north of Indian School Road.
All right, looks like I see Dolly Spartan out there on the jammer line, but looks like Evil Twin picked up a penalty on that last one. That's a power jam for your Schoolyard Scrappers. Scrappers able to close the point gap here, and now able a chance to put up some extra points here. When there's a power jam, only one team has the opportunity to collect all the points. Dolly Spartan able to get out on turn 1, and it's a slow pack coming through turn 2 right now.
Yeah, if you're new to Derby and this is one of your first bouts, you've seen obviously that as people are called for penalties in the previous jam, they sit in the penalty box the next jam, and their team skates a skater down as Dolly Spartan negotiating the pack and trying to finish a scoring pass here. When that happens to a jammer, when the jammer is penalized, that team skates without a jammer in the next jam, and that leads to what you see here, Dolly Spartan being the only point scorer on the track.
Still about 15 seconds left in this jam. Dolly Spartan's got plenty of time to get back around the track. Getting tied up here in turn 4, though. A couple Coffin Draggers trying to form a wall. They got to let her go because they've been pushed out of play. Only 3 seconds left on this jam, though. That was 10 points for the Schoolyard Scrappers. Scrappers take the lead. 27-20 right now with about 5 minutes left to go in the first.
Lead change. Take a sip of your cotton candy brandy. On the jammer line for the Coffin Draggers is Evil Twin.
That's a pretty hurt machine out there for the Scrappers. Evil Twin goes low. Pretty hurt machine goes high. Both of them working their way through the pack.
There goes Evil Twin along the inside, and Evil Twin lead jammer for the Coffin Draggers.
Coffin Dragger is able to keep on putting up a wall in front of Pretty Hurt Machine, but Pretty Hurt Machine able to get out right before turn 1 as Evil Twin starts their scoring pass. Evil Twin scoots through, collects all 4 points on that jam. Here comes everybody's favorite Nikki Badass for the Scrappers.
Your jammer for the Coffin Draggers is Hellatrix Lestrange. Both teams picking up points there, 29-24 Scrappers. There goes Strange along the inside. Strange finds an opening and dashes to the front. Your lead jammer for the Coffin Draggers. Nikki Badass trying to fight through some blockers, gets a block from Killin May Smalls, and is able to outrun Colette Razorcat to the point. So Nikki out. Strange finishes off a scoring pass and calls it off. So Strange puts 4 points on the board, cuts the lead to 1 for the Schoolyard Scrappers with 3:19 to go in the first quarter. Your jammer for the Coffin Draggers, Reckless Rose.
That's Juicy Kill Tour out there to jam for the Scrappers. Juicy working her way through the bottom of turn 4, trying to get by All of You Die. witchy woman able to recycle back in front, and suddenly Juicy's at the back of the pack, and Strange gets out. Oh, Rose gets out.
Rose out now and heading around trying to catch up to the pack as Juicy gets out the front of the pack for the Scrappers. We'll try to keep this to one scoring pass for Rose. Rose picking up speed going through the turn along the very inside. Now up to the front of the pack. Gets a blocker pushed off to the infield and gets past the pivot. Gets her 4 and calls it off. Coffin Draggers in front, 32-29. Lead change. And don't look now, but we've got another power jam for the Schoolyard Scrappers.
Looks like that's Dolly Spartan out there to skate another power jam for the Schoolyard Scrappers. Let's see how many points she can put up this time.
2 minutes even to go in the first quarter. Looks like a pretty full pack otherwise. Dolly weaving her way through the pack. There's a solid 3-wall at the front now. But they are out of play as they did have one of the Coffin Draggers pinned at the back. Blockers can only block when they're within 20 feet of the front of the pack as defined by the referees. So sometimes you'll see those blockers have to throw their hands up and let a skater go. 36 seconds to go in the power jam as Dolly now mid-pack. The defense kind of swarming and able to recirculate in front of her here. And Dolly gets pushed off onto the infield by the Coffin Draggers defense. Has to reestablish behind the skater that pushed her off. So she starts at the very back, now trying to outrun that last blocker to the point. And Dolly pinned in behind those blockers and calls it off. So a stalwart defensive effort from the Coffin Draggers there on the power jam. 5 points for Dolly Spartan. Schoolyard Scrappers jump back in front. Lead change. Onto the jammer line now for what will probably be the last jam of the first quarter is number 96, All of You Die for the Coffin Draggers.
Scrappers sending out Bonnie Banshee out there to jam this jam. Bon tries the low, gets knocked to the infield as All of You Die gets out. All of You Die is your lead jammer right now. The pack is virtually stopped in turn 1. Bon tries to take Olive up into the rail. Olive dives down low, try to get some more daylight. Scrappers walled up in front of her, though.
There goes Bonnie out the front of the pack. Now she's going to try to come around and keep this to this being the last scoring attempt for Olive. And Olive calls it off with a couple of seconds left on the clock, so making a liar out of me. We'll have one more jam here in the first quarter. Olive putting all 4 points on the board. Coffin Draggers jump back in front. If you've been taking a sip of your cotton candy bready every time there's a lead change, you're probably getting a buzz going by now. On the jammer line for the Coffin Draggers is Princess Leia. Princess Leia, obviously also the captain of the Brutal Beauties, but subbing in tonight and helping the Coffin Draggers roster a full roster. We're going to have a timeout. Let's see what kind of timeout it is.
Looks like the Scrappers might have picked up a penalty.
All right, it's a team timeout for the Coffin Draggers. So we will wait and see if they decide to challenge something or are just going to take a moment here. No time left on the quarter clock, but not quarter break yet. We do have one jam left here at the end of the first quarter, so we will step aside and air some sponsor messages for a couple of minutes. 36-34, Coffin Draggers in front right now. Hey, if you're between the ages of 10 to 17 and you love to skate, our Minor Assaults are looking for new skaters to join their team. The Minor Assaults often skate here at the Hall of Dames, and they often have mashup bouts when the adults are only skating one of the 2 bouts in an evening. Our Minor Assaults coaches not only teach technique and knowledge of the sport, but they also help build leadership, teamwork, and problem-solving skills that will help in life situations far beyond roller derby. Minor skating skills, dedication to learn, and a positive mental attitude are all that we require. Come see what all the fun is about. Ask any Arizona Derby dame how to get involved. You know, one of our recent graduates of the Minor Assaults program is All of You Die. I find it fitting that she ended up on the Coffin Draggers. It's almost like it was fated.
I see a full contingent of blockers out there for the Scrappers.
And I see no jammer for the Scrappers, so the Coffin Draggers took that time out to discuss what to do on this power jam to close out the first quarter. I didn't put my glasses on, so I don't know who the jammer is. As I just watched a blob heading down the front straightaway. That blob is Strange.
Strange
No, I mean,
blob jamming today.
Hellatrix Lestrange, your co-captain of the Coffin Draggers, is who the jammer is, and Strange is pinned in at the front, tries to spin around Nikki, but Nikki manages to hip her off to the infield.
Doing battle up against Nikki Badass and Dolly Spartan, putting on a clinic on how to hold a jammer in a power jam.
The Coffin Draggers at the back of the pack are trying to keep that last skater as the Coffin Draggers angrily gesticulate towards the refs, trying to get that front blockers called out of play. Strange gets up and again has to get up behind the blockers. It's going to be 5 seconds left, and Strange gets out, but that's all academic now. An excellent defensive effort from the Schoolyard Scrappers on the power jam and keeping it to no score. So that'll be the end of the action for the first quarter. If you wanted a close bout, I guess this has been okay. We've only had 6 lead changes in the last 7 jams. 36-34 Coffin Draggers as we take a 5-minute break. Catch your breath, get something from the snack bar. We'll be back in a moment.
Hurt's going to jam for the Schoolyard Scrappers, but I don't see anybody else. That makes this a Schoolyard Scrapper power jam. Hurt gets out on the low really easy. 36-34 at the beginning of this second quarter of action. The pack stalled out in turn 2. Hurt goes high. Picks up some speed, falls back down low, being held up by Pikachu and Quiver Phoenix. Your Antifa is at the front of the pack, but Hurt's able to push on by. 27 seconds left in this jam. Hurt picking up speed coming around the back. The pack stalled out here in turn 4. And Hurt's able to make it quick. Still 15 seconds left on this jam. Plenty of time for Hurt to come back and pick up a couple extra points. Hurt trying to get her hips past any other skater. That's where you score your points, when your hips pass another skater's hips.
All right, waiting for the score to be beamed up from the infield. Our wireless score monitor, known as Fingers. Dolly de los Muertos flashing up 14 of those digits. It's a 14-point power jam for the Schoolyard Scrappers. Up to the jammer line now for the Coffin Draggers is Reckless Rose.